When a mainstream social construct that focuses on a certain population faces opposition, the automatic assumption made by the left is that the opposition is to the population in question, when in most cases the opposition isn't to that population but to the approach taken to address the issues these people face. I'll explain what I mean by using two examples that are currently relevant at this time of year, Pride Month and Juneteenth. I'll discuss these in two separate videos. It's difficult to discuss the LGBT community in a broad sense because gay, lesbian, and bisexual rights are much different than trans rights, which are a more complex topic. For now, I'm focusing on the gay, lesbian, bi part. There are many people who have no bias or prejudice against the gay population, and don't personally oppose them having all the rights they're seeking, but don't like Pride Month. As one of these people, I'll explain my point of view. Pride Month is based on the notion that homophobia runs rampant in America, which is simply not true. Any population that has nearly every major corporation on their side is hardly oppressed. The gay, lesbian, bi population has never been as widely accepted as it is today, and this is a great thing. They still don't have equal rights to the non-LGBT population, but it's more than possible to work on this without shoving rainbows in everybody's face. The excessive amount of visual noise surrounding the topic actually tends to suppress my more libertarian side, simply because I find it obnoxious. So I would guess it has the same effect on other people, maybe even some moderate liberals who could potentially have some real influence in the matter. There are many Christian conservatives out there who maintain the biblical position that marriage is meant to be only between a man and a woman. And I not only respect their view, but would also defend it against attacks and criticism. However, as far as how I feel about it personally, religion aside, I don't really have much interest in the matter, and since I generally support equal rights for everyone, I tend to lean in favor of gay marriage when looking at it strictly from a personal point of view. Now, does this sound like a homophobic stance? Anyone who thinks so either isn't listening or has selective hearing. Yet, when nearly every big company gives their logo a rainbow background, virtue signaling in the same way that they do to show support for Ukraine, Black Lives Matter, or any other anti-hate cause, it becomes obvious how they aim to view those who don't support Pride Month. The focus of Pride has expanded in recent years to include trans rights, which is a much more slippery slope. For one thing, people who are non-heterosexual were born that way, just as I was born on the autism spectrum. Nobody chooses to be born as someone who will turn out to be gay. On the trans side of things, nobody chooses to be born feeling like a member of the opposite sex either. But transitioning or presenting as non-binary is a choice. This is a key difference when it comes to how much people should be expected to jump on board. Many would view this stance as transphobic, but it's not if you don't think anything less of these individuals as people. If somebody transitions or presents as non-binary without creating inevitable challenges for others, my opinion of them is no different than it would be for anybody else. Trans rights leads to controversial issues such as trans men competing in women's sports, which is completely at odds with feminism. I have a lot to say about that topic, so I'll make a separate video about that at a later time. Pride Month is all about companies and individuals giving themselves a false sense of virtue while trying to force their agenda on others.